Good morning, my name is Haley Fox. I'm an indoor plant care specialist here at Rogers, and by popular demand, we're going to be talking about the fiddle leaf fig today. Fiddle leaf figs are notoriously difficult in the plant community, but they definitely don't need to be. Once you understand their care, it's actually very simple. The two main things that they want is bright light and the ability to dry out. They are really sensitive to overwatering, and that's the number one thing where people go wrong with them. So I'm going to share with you how you can avoid that. The first thing that I recommend to people in regards to this plant, and most any plant, is to leave it in the nursery pot when you first bring it home. This gives you a really good opportunity to familiarize yourself with its care, and it's even better for your plant because it's in a planting medium that it's already used to, and you're not going through the stress of up-potting it, putting it in new soil, and possibly something that's going to be staying wet for too long, which is exactly what this plant doesn't want. The best setup that you can do is have a decorative pot, put a clear saucer on the bottom, and then set the grower's pot directly on top of that. The next question that I get asked a lot is how frequently should I water, how much should I water? All of those factors vary based on the environment that your plant is in. So how frequently you're watering all depends on how frequently it's drying out, and make sure that it's thoroughly dried out in between your waterings. It could be every 10 days, it could be every 2 weeks, it all depends. Another important thing is make sure that that clear saucer at the bottom isn't holding on to water. Once the water's drained in there, it's best to dispose of it, otherwise the roots are just soaking in that and you're rotting out your plant without even knowing it. So how much do you water it? Again, there's no set amount, there's no 1 cup, 1 gallon. The best way I can explain how to water it is to water it thoroughly. So you want to see water draining from the bottom of your plant. You want all of the soil to be fully saturated evenly throughout the pot. Browning of the leaves is another common problem with fiddle leaf figs, and there's a variety of things that can cause that. Something like this is most likely just bruising from the plant being moved around, damage, or possibly sunburn. You can tell a lot about what's causing the browning based on the feel of the leaf. If you have a dark brown leaf that feels really flimsy and almost kind of wet, that's a sign that you're overwatering. Leaf drop is something else that you'll experience both from under or over watering. So again, it's really important to kind of narrow in the watering routine and keep it consistent. If you have leaf drop from the bottom, that can be over watering, as well as lack of light. So there's a lot of layers in this plant, and that brings me to my next care tip, which is keep it in a bright location. We all have that one corner in our house that we want to fill, and we think this fiddle leaf fig is going to be the perfect thing to put there. But not really. It needs a bright location, not to be confused with sunlight. You want bright, indirect light. In regards to fertilizer, you can just use an organic houseplant fertilizer and feed once a month roughly. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you have more questions about your fiddle leaves, you can go ahead and ask and we will answer them for you.